Hey everyone, get ready because what I'm about to tell you could totally change the way you think about flying. Imagine a world where those unbelievably cheap flights you love are a past of the past. Sounds wild, right? Well, that's exactly what the heads of some of America's biggest airlines are warning us about. We're talking about major changes coming to the sky, and it's going to affect every single one of us who flies. Frontier Airlines, that ultra-low-cost carrier we all know, just dropped a bombshell. Their CEO, Barry Biffle, gave a blunt warning. Airlines are gearing up to cut a ton of flights across the country. He said it loud and clear. There's going to continue to be reductions in capacity in this industry. And he's not alone. Even the CEO of United Airlines, Scott Kirby, is echoing these same concerns, saying that many routes are simply losing money. So, what does this mean for you? Get ready for fewer choices, especially if you like to fly at off-peak times or on less popular days. It signals a potential end to that era of ultra-cheap air travel where you could snag a ticket for what felt like pocket change. The airline industry is hitting some turbulence, and we're all about to feel it. Let's talk about why this is happening. It's not just a passing phase. The core problem is simple. Too many planes are flying routes that just aren't profitable. Think about it. If an airline flies a plane from, say, Denver to a smaller city, but half the seats are empty, they're losing money on that flight. Multiply that by hundreds of routes, and you've got a big problem. This is especially true for domestic flights here in the US. Barry Biffle himself said that the domestic market, when you strip away international connections and code sharing, isn't making money. There's just too much supply and not enough demand. Frontier's latest financial report paints a clear picture. For the second quarter of 2025, they brought in nearly $1 billion in revenue. Sounds pretty good, right? But here's the kicker. They also reported a net loss of $70 million for that same quarter. That's a sharp decline from the profit they made in the same quarter last year. It shows the real financial pressure they're under. To put it in simple terms, the cost for Frontier to fly each seat for 1 mile, a measure they call CASM, actually went up to nearly 10 cents. At the same time, the money they made for each seat flown 1 mile, what they call RASM, dipped slightly to just over 9 cents. When your costs are higher than your revenue per seat, you're losing money, plain and simple. Beyond the numbers, these airlines are battling some tough conditions. Weak consumer confidence is a big one. People are watching their wallets more closely due to rising inflation, higher interest rates, and generally tighter household budgets. This means less demand for those everyday economy seats, forcing airlines to offer deeper discounts, which then eats into their profits. The summer travel season, usually a cash cow for airlines, actually underperformed this year because demand for standard economy lagged. On top of that, significant weather disruptions and air traffic control delays have been a real headache, adding to operational costs and financial setbacks. It's a bumpy ride, and it means changes are inevitable. We're already seeing this play out. Spirit Airlines, another budget carrier, has already started trimming flights in less popular time slots and days. This isn't just about individual airlines, it's a broader industry trend. The message is clear. The era of incredibly cheap flights is likely coming to an end as airlines prioritize making money over just filling planes. Despite these tough times, Frontier CEO Barry Biffle is surprisingly optimistic about their future. He believes Frontier has one of the cleanest balance sheets in the industry. That means they have a relatively strong financial position to weather the storm compared to some competitors. His bold prediction? That Frontier will be the last man standing among ultra-low-cost carriers. So, how do they plan to do this? It's all about strategy. Becoming leaner and meaner, Frontier is focusing on cutting financially unsustainable flights. Biffle expects these money-losing flights to disappear in months, possibly by next spring. This disciplined capacity deployment is crucial for profitability. The goal is to balance the domestic supply and demand, making sure the flights they do offer are making money. A modern, green fleet. Frontier is heavily investing in fuel efficiency. They've taken delivery of new Airbus A321neo aircraft, and now over 80% of their planes are the super fuel-efficient A320neo family. This is the highest percentage among major U.S. air carriers. Being America's greenest airline by flying about 106 available seat miles per gallon isn't just good for the environment, it's a smart business move that reduces their operational costs significantly. They've even locked in agreements for engines for future planes to ensure this efficiency continues, boosting customer spending. While they're cutting flights, they're also working to make more money from each passenger. They launched dozens of new routes in the second quarter, expanding their reach in the eastern and midwestern U.S. They've seen a fantastic 40% increase in loyalty revenue from co-branded credit cards, and overall cardholder spending jumped by nearly 20% year over year. They're even installing first-class seating fleet-wide by next spring, and adding upfront plus premium seats to attract passengers willing to pay more. It's about getting more value from every single flight and every single customer. Targeting profitability. Frontier is aiming to be profitable in 2026. They ended the second quarter with nearly $770 million in total cash and available credit, giving them a solid financial cushion to push through these changes. Their CEO believes there's still a significant untapped market in the U.S. and nearby international destinations that they can grow into without facing much competition. This isn't just about surviving, it's about positioning themselves to thrive when other airlines might be struggling. Frontier believes that as other airlines chase margins and fares go up across the industry, they'll have even more room to adjust their own fares upwards. It's a calculated bet on long-term cost competitiveness and strategic market positioning. Your future flights, what to expect as a traveler. So, what does all this mean for your travel plans in the coming months and years? Get ready for a new reality. First, fewer flight options are coming. This is the clearest takeaway. Airlines, including Frontier and United, are going to reduce the number of flights, especially those that aren't consistently full. If you usually rely on flying midweek or at odd hours for cheaper tickets, those convenient times might just disappear. Spirit Airlines and others have already started this process, trimming services during less popular periods. You might find your go-to departure time is no longer available, forcing you to adjust to tighter schedules or even less direct connections. Second, expect higher fares. This is the natural consequence of reduced supply. When there are fewer seats available and demand remains, prices will go up. Those rock-bottom fares we've enjoyed for years are likely fading away. For budget-conscious travelers, this means securing good prices will become even more dependent on booking well in advance and being flexible with your travel dates. The airline industry is shifting its focus from sheer quantity of routes to sustainability and profitability. This is a fundamental change. Airlines need to ensure they're making money to stay in business, and flying half-empty planes just isn't sustainable. While it might feel like a sign of weakness, it's actually a strategic move for long-term health. They'll be streamlining operations and focusing on the most popular and profitable routes, potentially flying larger planes on those key segments. For you, the American traveler, this means plan ahead, way ahead. Spontaneity might cost you. Booking your travel early will be crucial to get the best possible fares and ensure you have a seat on your desired route. Be flexible. If you can adjust your travel dates or times, you might still find better deals, but the range of options will be narrower. Expect less convenience. Those super convenient flight times that fit perfectly into your schedule might be harder to come by. Understand the value shift. Cheap doesn't always mean available anymore. The industry is changing, and so must our expectations. This isn't just a temporary blip, it's a significant shift in how air travel will operate for years to come. The days of endless cheap flights might be behind us, but it's all part of a necessary recalibration for the airline industry to maintain its financial health. So get ready to adapt to these shifting skies. It's an interesting time for travel, and staying informed is key. If you found this breakdown helpful, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more insights, and don't forget to ring that notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.